It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover is a heart-wrenching and powerful novel that explores the themes of love, abuse, and family relationships. Chapter 1 sets the stage for the story, introducing the protagonist, Lily Bloom, and providing the reader with insight into her background and current situation. Lily is a successful businesswoman living in Boston, but she grew up in a small town in Maine. Her childhood was far from perfect, with an alcoholic father who was often abusive to her mother and siblings. Despite this, Lily is determined to break the cycle of abuse and create a better life for herself. The chapter opens with Lily attending the funeral of her father, who recently passed away from a heart attack. She reflects on the complicated feelings she has about his death, and how she is struggling to reconcile the good and bad memories she has of him. She also thinks about her mother, who is still living in Maine and struggling to make ends meet. As she leaves the funeral, Lily runs into Ryle Kincaid, a handsome and successful neurosurgeon who she had briefly met the night before. They strike up a conversation, and Lily is immediately drawn to Ryle's confidence and charisma. They exchange phone numbers and make plans to meet up later. After the funeral, Lily returns to her apartment and reflects on the past. She remembers a time when her father hit her mother with a belt, and she had to intervene to protect her. She also recalls a time when she was in college and fell in love with a boy named Atlas, who had a troubled home life and was living on the streets. Despite their strong connection, Atlas eventually disappeared from her life without explanation. The chapter ends with Lily preparing for her date with Ryle, but she is still haunted by memories of her past and unsure of what the future holds. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Lily's story will unfold and what challenges she will face in the coming chapters. Overall, Chapter 1 of It Ends With Us lays a strong foundation for the rest of the novel, introducing key characters and themes and setting up a compelling narrative that explores the complexities of love and abuse. It leaves the reader eager to continue reading and find out what happens next in Lily's journey. Chapter 2 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover picks up with Lily's date with Ryle. The chapter provides insight into Ryle's character and background, and also explores Lily's conflicting feelings about him. Lily is nervous about the date and tries to calm herself down by reminding herself of Ryle's flaws. She recalls how he was dismissive of her job in a previous conversation, and also remembers a story she heard about him mistreating a patient during surgery. However, when Ryle arrives and begins to charm her with his wit and humor, Lily finds herself drawn to him once again. The date goes well, with Ryle taking Lily to a fancy restaurant and impressing her with his knowledge of wine. They also discuss their respective careers and ambitions, with Ryle revealing that he wants to open his own neurosurgery practice in the near future. After dinner, Ryle takes Lily to a rooftop bar, where they share a romantic kiss. However, Lily's joy is short-lived when Ryle reveals that he is not interested in a serious relationship. He tells her that he is focused on his career and does not want to be tied down. Lily is disappointed but tries to play it cool, not wanting to seem too desperate or needy. As they continue to talk, Ryle reveals that he has a difficult relationship with his father, who is a successful businessman and has high expectations for his son. He also tells Lily that he has a younger sister who he is very protective of, but who is currently dating someone he disapproves of. The chapter ends with Lily and Ryle parting ways, with Lily still unsure of how she feels about him. She reflects on his flaws and the red flags she has seen in their interactions, but also can't help but be drawn to him. The reader is left with a sense of uncertainty and anticipation, wondering what will happen next in their relationship and what challenges they will face. Overall, Chapter 2 of It Ends With Us continues to build on the themes of love and relationships introduced in the previous chapter. It provides more insight into the characters of Lily and Ryle, and also sets up potential conflicts and obstacles for them to overcome. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily and Ryle's story will unfold, and whether they will be able to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. Chapter 3 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover delves deeper into Lily's past, providing more insight into her relationship with her parents and her first love, Atlas. The chapter opens with Lily reflecting on the night she met Atlas, who was living on the streets at the time. She remembers how he saved her from a group of boys who were harassing her, and how they immediately connected. She also recalls how she helped him get off the streets and find a job, and how they fell deeply in love. However, their relationship was complicated by Atlas's troubled home life and his reluctance to open up about his past. Lily struggled to understand why he was so guarded, and eventually broke up with him when he disappeared from her life without explanation. The chapter also explores Lily's relationship with her father, and how his abuse affected her family. Lily recalls how her father would become violent when he was drunk, and how she and her siblings would hide in a closet until it was over. She also remembers how her mother would blame herself for his behavior, and how she often felt helpless to stop it. Despite the trauma she experienced as a child, Lily is determined to create a better life for herself and break the cycle of abuse. She has worked hard to build her own successful business, and is proud of what she has accomplished. The chapter ends with Lily reflecting on her current situation, wondering whether Ryle could be the one for her. She is still unsure about him, but can't help feeling drawn to his charm and charisma. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering what challenges Lily will face as she navigates her complicated relationships with Ryle and her past. Overall, Chapter 3 of It Ends With Us deepens the reader's understanding of Lily's character and her past. It provides important context for her current struggles with love and relationships, and sets up potential conflicts and obstacles for her to overcome. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily's story will unfold, and whether she will be able to overcome the trauma of her past and find happiness in the present. Chapter 4 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover picks up with Lily trying to process her conflicting feelings about Ryle after their first date. She feels a strong attraction to him, but is also wary of his flaws and the potential for him to hurt her. As she tries to sort through her emotions, Lily receives a surprise visit from Atlas, her first love. She is shocked to see him after so many years, and is initially reluctant to let him back into her life. However, she eventually agrees to talk to him, and they catch up on what has happened in their lives since they last saw each other. Atlas reveals that he has been traveling the world as a musician, and that he is currently in Boston for a concert. He also tells Lily that he has never stopped loving her, and that he regrets the way he disappeared from her life years ago. Lily is torn between her feelings for Ryle and her lingering love for Atlas. She also worries about what Ryle will think if he finds out she is talking to her ex-boyfriend. However, she agrees to meet Atlas later that day and listen to him play at his concert. At the concert, Lily is swept up in the emotion of Atlas's music and feels a strong connection to him once again. However, she also realizes that she has changed since they were together, and that their relationship might not work out even if they rekindle their romance. The chapter ends with Lily feeling conflicted and unsure about what she wants. She is torn between her love for Ryle and her past with Atlas, and is unsure how to navigate the complicated emotions she is feeling. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Lily will move forward and whether she will be able to find happiness in her love life. Overall, Chapter 4 of It Ends With Us continues to explore the theme of love and relationships introduced in earlier chapters. It provides more insight into Lily's character and her past, and also sets up potential conflicts and obstacles for her to overcome. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily will resolve her conflicting feelings and whether she will be able to find true love and happiness. Chapter 5 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover begins with Lily reflecting on her past relationship with Atlas and how it ended. She recalls the pain and heartbreak she felt when he disappeared from her life, and wonders whether she should give him another chance. However, Lily is also dealing with her complicated feelings for Ryle, who she is still drawn to despite her reservations about his past behavior. She meets with him again and they go on another date, during which Ryle reveals more about his family and upbringing. Ryle also admits that he has struggled with anger issues in the past, but assures Lily that he is working to overcome them. Lily is impressed by his honesty and willingness to be vulnerable with her, and begins to see him in a new light. As Lily tries to navigate her conflicting feelings for Ryle and Atlas, she receives an unexpected visit from her mother. Her mother reveals that she is planning to leave Lily's father, and asks Lily to help her start a new life. Lily is shocked and overwhelmed by the news, but agrees to help her mother in any way she can. The chapter ends with Lily feeling conflicted and uncertain about what to do next. She is torn between her love for Ryle, her lingering feelings for Atlas, and her desire to help her mother escape her abusive relationship. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Lily will navigate the complex web of relationships and emotions she is facing. Overall, Chapter 5 of It Ends With Us further develops the themes of love, relationships, and domestic violence that have been introduced in earlier chapters. It deepens the reader's understanding of Lily's character and her family history, and also sets up potential conflicts and obstacles for her to overcome. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily will navigate the challenges ahead and whether she will be able to find happiness and peace in her relationships. Chapter 6 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover begins with Lily struggling to balance her personal and professional life. She is working long hours at the flower shop, and is also trying to support her mother as she prepares to leave her abusive husband. Lily receives a surprise visit from Ryle, who takes her out for a day of boating on the Charles River. They share a romantic moment, and Lily is once again reminded of her strong feelings for Ryle. However, Lily's happiness is short-lived when she receives a call from her mother's friend, who tells her that Lily's father has found out about their plans to leave him. Lily rushes to her mother's house, and is devastated to see the extent of the abuse that her mother has suffered. Lily's mother is in a fragile state, and Lily is forced to make difficult decisions about how to help her. She reaches out to Atlas for support, and he offers to come to Boston to help her and her mother. As Lily navigates the complicated emotions of her personal life, she is also dealing with challenges at work. Her boss, Alyssa, is unhappy with the quality of Lily's work, and threatens to fire her if she doesn't improve. The chapter ends with Lily feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about how to move forward. She is torn between her feelings for Ryle and her lingering love for Atlas, and is struggling to balance her personal and professional responsibilities. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Lily will handle the challenges ahead. Overall, Chapter 6 of It Ends With Us continues to explore the themes of love, relationships, and domestic violence that have been introduced in earlier chapters. It deepens the reader's understanding of Lily's character and her family history, and also sets up potential conflicts and obstacles for her to overcome. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily will navigate the challenges of her personal and professional life, and whether she will be able to find happiness and peace in her relationships. Chapter 7 of It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover begins with Lily struggling to balance her work and personal life. She is worried about her mother's safety and well-being, and is also trying to impress her boss at the flower shop. Lily receives an unexpected visit from Atlas, who has come to Boston to help her and her mother. They spend time catching up and reminiscing about their past, and Lily is reminded of the strong connection they share. As Atlas spends more time with Lily and her mother, he begins to uncover the extent of the abuse that her mother has suffered. He urges Lily to seek help, and suggests that they involve the police to ensure her mother's safety. Meanwhile, Lily is still struggling with her feelings for Ryle. She runs into him at a coffee shop, and they have a heart-to-heart conversation about their pasts and their hopes for the future. Ryle reveals that he is falling in love with Lily, and she is forced to confront her own feelings for him. The chapter ends with Lily feeling torn between her love for Ryle and her unresolved feelings for Atlas. She is also dealing with the challenges of supporting her mother through a difficult time. The reader is left with a sense of anticipation and uncertainty, wondering how Lily will handle the challenges ahead and whether she will be able to find happiness and peace in her relationships. Overall, Chapter 7 of It Ends With Us continues to develop the themes of love, relationships, and domestic violence that have been introduced in earlier chapters. It deepens the reader's understanding of Lily's character and her complicated feelings for Ryle and Atlas, and also highlights the challenges of supporting a loved one through a difficult time. The chapter leaves the reader eager to see how Lily will navigate the challenges ahead and whether she will be able to find a way to be happy and fulfilled in her relationship.